Let's spend a while think about two questions. Question 1. Why does a company hold cash and marketable securities? Since cash and marketable securities doesn't produce high return, why the company still want to hold cash and marketable securities? Question 2. What is the management goal in maintaining appropriate degree of liquidity or maintain certain amount level of cash? What's the goal doing this? Spend some more to think about it. First question, why does the company hold cash and marketable securities? There are three main motives. 1. Transaction motives. 2. Precautionary motives. 3. Speculative motive. Transaction motives. This to meet cash needs in the ordinary course of business. For example, cash purchase basically means cash purchase means you buy anything and you pay cash on the spot. Payment of wages, utilities, payments to creditors. So, when a business run or operates, it need money, cash to pay for all these expenses. Okay, all these expenses incurred. So to meet the planned acquisitions of fixed assets and purchases of inventories. So let's say you want to buy a car, buy a van, buy equipment. Okay, all this, okay, you need money, okay, to buy. All the more for inventories. Okay, for inventories, you buy your, let's say for bread talk, okay, you need to buy flour, you buy rice, you buy sauce, all this. You need money to pay for all these transactions. The amount of cash needed depends on a number of factors. 1. Economical condition, whether it's an upturn or a recession. The company will need more cash on hand in the recession period. 2. Industry the firms operates in. Comparing retail industry versus manufacturing industries. These two have significant impact on the level of cash required. Third one, business season. Christmas and Chinese New Year, okay, are two a good example. They need more cash to buy more inventories, okay, to prop up. Okay, beforehand you need to buy all the inventory, so you need more cash. Okay, before the seasons kicks in, you start to buy. Let's say Christmas in December. In October and November, you start to buy more inventories. Okay, like for example, Yurensen. Okay, the Chinese New Year is in February. Okay, so basically you start to stock up ginseng in the month of November, December, even Jan. Okay, I speak. This is a real life case because I personally have facilitates the credit loans for Yurensen. All right. B. Precautionary motives. This to protect the firms against being unable to satisfy its unexpected demand for cash. Firms tend to invest in highly liquid marketable securities that can be immediately converted to cash. Precautionary balance are affected by the firm's cash flow predictability and access to external fund. Basically, it means this. If the company can predict the cash flow very accurately, okay, they do need to prepare so much standby cash buffer. Okay, they just set as close as possible to the estimation. But if the company cannot estimate the requirement, the cash flow properly, accurately, and cannot estimate the cash flow accurately then they have to prepare more buffer for any unexpected event. Okay, so basically, if you cannot predict that well, okay, the lesser you can predict, in short, you need to prepare more money. Okay, stand by more money. But if you the other factor is the access to external fund. Okay, so basically, in short, if you can get borrowing from outside the company easily, then in some sense, your cash, the amount of money you need to stand by will be lesser. But if you can't really access to external fund, okay, like banks borrowing, then you have to stand by more cash in the company. Next, good banking relation and established line of credits can reduce the need to keep cash near cash on hand. So if you have good banking relations, okay, good relationship with banks, and you already have established line of credits, basically you have loans already there. You know that all these are on standby purpose. Okay, anytime you need money, you can depends on this. Good banking relationship is a very important factor because if you do not have any relationship with the banks will be most of the time the bank will not be comfortable in giving you extending credit to you within a short period of time. So basically, you need to have good banking relationship. If you do not have, then the company will try to build up a good relationship with the banks first. Next, the established line of credits basically is that you already have approved loans. Okay, loans limits. Okay, credit term, credit facilities from the bank. Well, you already proved that. Okay, anytime you need to draw, then you depend on them. Yeah, you can come so. Okay, so these two are important factors when it comes to considering how much balance to maintain. C. The speculative motive. Cash held for speculative purpose in order to take advantage of potential profit-making situations. At times along the way, situation might drop in. Things might happen that there's a potential for you to make more money. Okay, in this situation, you need the money to make that more money situation. Okay, basically that this profit you need money to basically to take advantage of it and to make more profits. So do you have that money? Okay, so basically that's one situation. Next, firm may invest excessive cash in marketable securities. So with extra money, okay, excessive cash, they can invest in marketable securities. Okay, one good example is Apple. They have billions of dollars of cash, literally cash, billions of dollars, billions of dollars in cash. Okay, they can use it to do a lot of things. Right? They can invest. They can basically they are probably richer than some of the banks. Generally, the speculative motive is the least most important reason for a firm's preference for liquidity. Normally, that's not the main reason. Okay, but it's sometimes okay if the company do see there's a possible profit making, then they will probably be the one. Okay, if there's foresee there's a potential to make potential profit making situation, then probably they'll do that. Otherwise, unlikely. Okay, the transactional and precautionary motives are the two main reasons why a company holds cash balance. Any questions so far? Okay. What is management's goal in maintaining appropriate degree of liquidity? The management's goal should be to maintain appropriate level. The word is appropriate level of transactional cash in hand. Okay, to meet the disbursement needs that arises in the course of doing business. In short, you need to maintain certain amount of money, okay, amount of cash to pay off the needs. The disbursement needs, anytime you need to pay off the needs. It's like using an illustration that let's say today you need to maintain $10 to pay for your transportation expense. Your transportation needs, your food needs, okay, your hunger needs is more of hunger needs, or the size of hunger needs. So basically, you need to maintain certain amount. okay, to meet the needs required. So in this situation is liquidity, you try to minimize the risk of insolvency. Okay. Next, you minimize idle cash balance. The word idle is basically doesn't cash that are not making money for the business. You try to not to have too much idle cash. Okay, try to maintain as minimum as possible. Because one of the reasons is that even you put the cash in the bank account, the interest earned from the bank account is minimum. All right. So in terms of profitability, you try to maximize the return. Okay, try to make full use of the idle cash as possible and maintain the minimum level of idle cash. The financial manager must strike a balance. So basically, the balance between holding too much cash or too little cash. This is the focal point of a risk return trade-off. So basically, if you want to have high return, then your risk will be high. But if you want to have low risk, then return will be lower. So they're the trade-off between the two. A large cash balance minimizes the chance of insolvency. So basically, maintain a lot of cash, but this will be idle cash. Okay, but it reduces your risk of insolvency, but penalize the company's profitability. So basically, here you have a large amount of cash, but minimize the risk of insolvency, but you penalize the company's profitability. A firm uses either quantitative model or subjective approaches to determine the appropriate transactional cash balance. So basically, a firm will use different methods, okay, to determine what's the balance, what's the level of cash balance it requires, okay, the most appropriate level. A subjective approach might be to maintain a transactional balance equal to the 10% of the following month's forecast sales. To give an example, it's not hard and fast rule, but it's subjective because different companies will have different requirements. That's why I use the word subjective approach. Okay, subjective. The word is subjective. So it's 10%, it could be more, okay, but one example is that maintain 10% for the following month's forecast sales. If the following month forecast sales is higher, you may have more cash. Okay. Any questions so far?